welcome to the cave. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Exciting times, my friend. The listeners and the viewers that tune in can see you on My Life with the Walter Boys. I gotta know, how has your life been since this whole show premiered? It was number one on Netflix for weeks. People were going crazy about this show.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like when you're doing it, you're not really thinking too much about like how it's gonna do. You're just trying to like have fun and like do the work, and then like when it comes out, you just have to see what happens. But like, yeah, this time it's just like just within a few days, it just started picking up like so crazy fast, and then it's just been even crazier since then. So it's been nuts. It hasn't been too different. I've just been relaxing at home a lot, but
Right.
the occasional like person will recognize me, so that's different. Haven't had that before, so that's it's good. It's been good.
Right. And you can't complain. It was a number one show on Netflix. Like you said,
Yeah,
season two already got picked up. I'm sure in a few months you're heading out to film this.
hopefully, yeah. Well, as soon as we hear something, I'm hoping soon.
So we'll jump more into the show in a few minutes. Let's get to know a little bit more about you and everything. I was doing some research on you. Like, I want to know, like, what made you fall in love with acting? What made you go for this? Was this always the goal?
Man, I mean, I started when I was like 6 or 7, so it's been a long time. I started when I was a kid. How did I get into it? I someone at the school that I was going to did some like commercial job or something like that, and they had like told me about it, and I was like, oh, that's awesome, you get to be on TV. Like, no, you're like
Yeah.
6 years old, someone else tells you that they're on TV, and you're like, oh, that's cool, I want to do that. So I think I just like I talked to my parents about it at the time. I was like, hey, this friend was doing this, could I get into this? And they were like, oh, it's just like, it's just like an idea at first when you're
Yeah.
a kid and stuff. But then I just like kept, I'm very persistent. So I just like kept going on about them at it like every day. Eventually they're like, okay, fine, we'll try. And then they like found me an agent, and then I went to an audition, and I think I got a call back for my first audition. So they were like, oh, this must be a good sign. And then yeah, I've just kind of been riding it ever since.
What's been like your family's reaction now, seeing you like on TV or like films and TV shows like this?
I mean, I think they're pretty used to it just because I have been doing it for so long. Like I've worked on quite a few things over the years, so it's not too much of a change, but it's definitely a change with like being on something that has gotten as popular as it has. But yeah, I don't know. I guess they're just really proud of me, I guess.
What are some of like the movies, films, TV shows that you have fallen in love with that made you pursue this even more?
It's a good question. I think when I was a kid, I really liked the movie Sandlot. Like
Okay.
it just always seemed like that was the type of thing when I was that age where I was like, oh, I want to work on something like this. So it was always kind of like, you know, going to the auditions and just like, or hoping that an audition will come in that will fit that kind of like vibe that that movie had. That was definitely some of the influences when I was a kid. It's like movies like that, like The Sandlot for sure.
How about an actor? Is there somebody you look up to that you try to like watch their stuff to make your craft better?
Yeah, let me think. I always quite like Michael Cera,
Okay.
especially as I got. He's so great. He just makes such like great choices and scenes, and he plays every character like really naturally, but in such a funny way. Yeah, he's definitely been an inspiration for me in my career. I'd love to do some more roles kind of similar to the stuff that he's done before.
So would you say is that like your dream role, like fall into like comedy and stuff like that, like he's done?
Yeah, comedy would be fun. I've never really done a comedy before, but that's definitely really intriguing. I feel like that would just be a lot of fun to do something like that.
How about sitcoms? Have you thought about that?
Not a super big fan of sitcoms, to be completely honest. Like I'm fine. I like watching them, but I don't know. I think working on one, I'd get too nervous. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't like being in front of a bunch of people like on a stage.
That's funny. Well, what about when you're filming this? You're kind of like in front of people. Is it because it's
I don't know. It's
smaller
different.
group, maybe?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's I don't know. It's just different on film. Like I mean, with a sitcom, yeah, you get like multiple takes and stuff like that. And obviously on film, you get multiple takes. I guess the sitcoms are like very similar to like doing like a stage production or something like that, and that also makes me very nervous. So I
Mm,
think it's just a little out of my ballpark right now.
yeah. How do you prepare yourself to film like like a TV show like the my life with the Walter was? How do you prepare yourself before you go on set? Like, what do you do? Do you like sit in the back listening to some music? What do you do?
Yeah, I think yeah, I'll get set in the morning and eat some breakfast, and then yeah, just like listen to music in my trailer and maybe take a nap. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Ease yourself right in there.
Yeah. I feel like just from doing it for so long since I've been a kid, it's like I I don't know if I have like too much of a process when it comes to like working in film. It just kind of is like it's just something I've done for so long at this point where it
Mm.
just feels like, oh, this is just what I'm going to do today.
So yeah, let's jump right into the show then. We see you as Danny, of course. Did you originally go for him? Because there's so many cast members, so many brothers in the TV in the show.
Yeah.
Was that originally the one you went for?
No, so I first auditioned for Alex,
Okay.
um,
Wow.
which was a great idea for them to choose Ashby because he is so Alex and it's perfect. But so, yeah, so I did the audition, um, didn't hear back for a little while, and then my agent messaged me and they were like, "Hey, they loved what you did, but they think that you're more suited for Danny. So would you read for that?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I can do that." So then I just like went home, did the taping for it, sent it off. Didn't think too much about it for a little
Mhm.
while. Was just like out doing other things, and then eventually I just got a call one day when I was at work, and my agent was like, she was like, "Hey, yeah, so they wanna offer you the role of Danny," and I was like, "Oh wow, that's crazy." And then yeah, it was so nuts because I was like, "Oh, this is a pretty like substantial part in like a big Netflix show." So I was
Right.
like, "Oh wow, okay, that'll be crazy." And then I eventually got on like a little Zoom call with our showrunner Melanie, and we just kind of talked over the character a little bit, just like what he's like, kind of his relation to different people in the family, kind of how he carries himself and whatnot. A lot of it, a lot of it was like very similar to the way that I am in my normal life, so it felt like it wasn't too like a lot of the time it didn't feel too much like acting. It was more just like relating to scenarios.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it was interesting. I think it was a good idea that I got Danny and not Alex because I'm way more Danny.
What was like the character breakdown when you auditioned for this? Do you remember?
I don't know if I exactly remember. I mean, I think it was probably like, he's kind, he's very like thoughtful, um, does lots of stuff for others. I think it also mentioned that he's a little bit of like this, not the exact wording, but like he's like a bit of a fly on the wall almost. He's just kind of
Yes.
like off doing his own stuff, doesn't get really too much involved in drama or stuff like that. I can't remember specifically, but it was along those lines.
Yeah. And those are the type of people that you kind of like, in the real world here. You like the people that are just very mellow, they're mind their own business, do their thing,
Yeah,
go on. That's what you want to like be around people.
yeah. He doesn't create too much tension, so I think a lot of people like the character because of that. He's just not very conflictual. He's just someone who's kind of relaxed, and you're like, oh, okay. He's thinking about this. He's not just acting rationally.
Right. So throughout the series and everything, what do you think has like been like the biggest challenge with this character? And I know you said you're kind of similar with them, like easy connect with them. Did you have any like difficulties with some stuff?
Yeah, I think it was really easy for me to connect to like certain aspects of Danny. I mean, we're both like he's an aspiring actor,
Right.
and I'm an actor, so we have that in similar, obviously. So that was something that was fairly easy to relate to. I mean, he does theater stuff, which I don't do that often. Um, I don't know, maybe in the future, we'll see. Um, but I think we're also very similar, just in like the way that approach like relationships with people, or just like how we just like navigate daily life. Like I'm also fairly fly on the wallish at times, and
Right.
we just had a lot of similarities, so it wasn't too hard to get into playing him. It felt pretty natural. I just kind of had to felt like I just had to go on set and be like, oh, okay, just be yourself and say this.
And what I like about Danny too is like he, like of course we have the big storyline with I wrote it down here with like Nikki, and Noah and Alex, but of course, but you have like your own storyline in this too. You have your own, you're going for the
Mm-hmm.
acting. At the end of the season, we see you going off to New York City.
Yeah,
It's like how would you describe like his journey through this season?
I think his journey throughout the season it was like him trying to gain some confidence that he hasn't had in a little while. Like he's confident in the things that he wants to do and
Okay.
the things that he knows he likes, but I don't think he's very confident in being able to attain those things. Um, so I think that was kind of his journey, is like trying to get that confidence, whether it's like, getting an acting part or something, or um,
Or even maybe a
finally
girlfriend down
seeing
the
a
road.
girl that he likes. Yeah,
Right.
exactly. So stuff like that. Yeah, I think his growth of the character was definitely just like kind of getting that confidence back, because he's kind of lived in the shadow of Cole a little bit, especially because like they're fraternal twins. So I'm sure there's always that thing where it's like, oh, why does he get to do all this stuff and then I'm like this, and so I think that was kind of like he's finding his own place at
Hmm.
that point.
How would you describe the chemistry between Danny and Erin, who's played by Alicia?
Yeah, I think it's interesting because I think Danny pretty well like understands like why Erin is how she is,
Yeah.
because of the way that he's seen that like Cole has changed ever since the accident, and also how like Cole's mentality towards things has changed over the years, just from like the like social pressure that everyone puts on him, right? So I think he can very easily see that in Erin as well. Um, so I think he just likes her. He knows that she's like genuinely like a really nice person, even though she can be a little catty at times.
Right,
There's
right.
reasons for it.
Uh, do you have like a favorite Danny moment in the first season?
Yeah, I quite like the scene where it's him and Jackie sitting on like the dock when they're having like the fire and the and
Okay.
the and the drinking, like
In
the
the party, yeah.
yeah, at the little party on the dock, and they're just having that conversation where they're talking about she talks about like her sister, and we're talking about like oh, I don't have insomnia, I just like the peace and quiet at night
Mm.
and stuff like that. That's one of my favorite scenes with him.
Is there for Danny, is there anything you would change about him if you could? If like the writers gave you freedom?
um is there anything? I don't think I would change much about him, like personality wise. I think he's fairly similar to myself, so I wouldn't want to change that either. But maybe his clothes. I think he could dress a little better at some point.
We mentioned Cole, how he's like your twin brother in the series. Do you lean towards Team Cole because of that relationship, or what do you think is good down the road, or Team Alex?
Man, yeah, I think I gotta go from a twin. Gotta, yeah. I think I'm Team Cole. I mean, I think Danny's Team Cole. Um, is he Team Cole? That's a good question, actually. For me, I'm Team Jackie. I think Danny's Team Cole though,
Mm,
because he just he understands that his brother is not the person that a lot of people make him out to be.
right, right.
Uh, so he's just they're ride or die. I
Yeah.
think that's kind of how it is.
So season two is still being written from what I've read online. What are you hoping for as Danny comes up next for him? Like, What do you hope you see more? And is there a cast member that you haven't worked with that you're hoping to have more scenes with coming up?
Yeah. Um, yeah, what do I hope from him? I hope I hope that maybe through, like, going to New York, he's kind of, like, found himself even a little bit more, maybe, just, like, maybe a little bit more confidence, like I said, with the clothing,
Right.
maybe, he's been hanging out with Jackie there, she's kinda showed him the ropes and stuff, what it's like to live away from a small town and whatnot. Um, and as far as, like, working with other people, I'd love to do more scenes with Ashby, actually, 'cause, we just didn't have that many where we were, like, really, like, throwing lines back and forth at each other, so I think that would be really fun.
Mm. The show has a huge following. What do you hope for like the viewers to remember mostly about you and your performance?
Oh, man, hopefully hopefully they just know that I'm just, like, having fun, and that I hope that they remember just, like, how wonderful of a person Danny is. Hopefully that relates to me in some ways.
Right. You mentioned the word fun. I love it how I hear that because it's like some people it's just a job. For you, it seems like you enjoy doing this. You
Oh,
enjoy
yeah.
going there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, as far as, like, acting goes, like, my whole goal, like, right now and into the future is, like, just to have fun with it when I'm on set. Like, I don't yeah, like, whether my career, like, goes big from here, if it levels out, or if it drops down and I'm not booking stuff, as long as I'm having fun on set and I'm still working a little bit, that's all I care about. So
Amazing.
as long as it's fun, I don't care where it takes me.
That's right. And I said I had Ashley on that plays Tara right before Christmas, and she told me that she thinks you guys would probably start filming in the spring because right now it's really cold where you guys are at. And
Yeah, it's cold.
so between that now, what are you doing? Do you have any other projects you're gonna work on that you're allowed to tell us about, or are you just taking a break? Or you
No, no, nothing in the pipeline right now. What have I been doing over the last little while? I was working. I just had, like, a little, like, 9 to 5 for a little while. I was just working at the we have an aquarium in Vancouver, so I
okay?
was just working there for a little while. Um, and then, like, on my downtime, I'm just like, I got a puppy recently, so I've just been hanging out with the puppy and my partner, and then I've also just been, like, I do a lot of photography, so
Okay.
I've just been trying to get out as much as possible and take photos. That's pretty much what I've been doing in the
Amazing.
in the in between period.
There you go. Connor, let's end this by like how can the listeners, the viewers find you on social media, keep up with you, hopefully for season two news and more and pictures, of
Yeah,
course.
just keep up with me on Instagram. That's pretty much all I use. I don't. If you find me anywhere else, it's either an old account that I don't use anymore, or not me. So yeah, just on Instagram, it's at Connor underscore Stanhope. And then in my bio, there's also a link to a little photography page where I occasionally upload some photos that I've taken.
Amazing. Connor, I want to thank you for giving a few minutes today. This was great. Let's get you back on after season two or during season two.
Yes,
We got to
gladly. I will
continue.
do
We got
that
to
for sure.
continue on because I like Danny's storyline.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.